Okay, so the brand new iOS 17 is here on iPhone, and there are 7 changes that I'm personally most excited about that I think you should be aware of. And if you're wondering what kind of wallpaper I have, it's from my new wallpaper pack called Euphoria, which consists of 20 different 8K high-resolution wallpapers that look good on iPhones, iPads, Macs, and all types of devices. The first 50 people to use code BUY1GET1, you get the Euphoria pack plus either the Symmetry wallpaper pack or the Winter Wonderland wallpaper pack free of charge. So act fast, links will be in the description below. Okay, so let's start with the AirPods Pro. There's this new feature called adaptive audio, which is supposed to change how we think about noise cancellation and transparency modes on the device. Under this setting, the AirPods Pro are able to listen to the environment around you and automatically adjust the level of external noise you're being exposed to by adjusting the noise canceling and the transparency levels. Then there's something called personalized volume, which is supposed to adjust the volume of your media in response to the environment around you. So think if you're in a loud environment, the volume will go up automatically, and if you're in a quieter environment, the volume should gradually adjust lower. It's supposed to be using machine learning and adjust to your listening preferences over time, as some people actually might like blasting audio into their ears in a quiet environment, while others will prefer a more tamed volume in the same setting. So as it gets to know you better and your environmental conditions and what you prefer, in theory, it should provide a more hands-off volume adjusting experience over time. And I want to stress that part. This is all over time. Like even on Apple's website, it doesn't really say that this works right away. The machine learning algorithm has to sort of learn what you prefer, and then this should get good. So I can't really give you my opinion on it, as I've only been using iOS 17 with this specific feature for a couple of days, and I haven't really noticed a difference as of right now. And finally, there is something called conversation awareness mode, where if you start speaking, the AirPods will recognize your voice and automatically lower the media volume very low and reduce background noises so you can better engage with the people around you. And once you stop talking, the audio playing before will very gradually increase back to its original volume. All of these features actually work and do a decent job for the most part, except for the personalized volume adjust. I haven't really noticed anything yet. And really the whole point of all of this is that you shouldn't have to touch your AirPods as much anymore. And you're gonna leave a lot of these adjustments to the actual device itself. Apple also has updated the automatic switching to work better across Apple devices, which is actually really good to see that they're paying attention to that, since it can be a little bit finicky at times going from iPhone to Mac to iPad to iPhone. Like sometimes it just gets lost in the shuffle. And finally, while you are on a call, you can now quickly mute yourself with AirPods by single pressing to mute or single pressing again to unmute yourself. So these are all really cool changes. The next thing I want to talk about is standby mode. It's this new full screen experience where if you turn your iPhone on its side while it's charging, you get a lot of really useful actions and information that show up on the display. It can act as a clock at a glance with multiple styles. It can show you your pictures, and you can even add widgets and customize which ones you want to see on screen at any given time. It even shows live activities, so you can always be aware in real time the progress of something like an Uber Eats order, for example. And it gets even better than that. You can ask Siri for something like the weather or to set a timer, and it's actually going to provide you visual results that can be viewed in addition to her voice answering your question. I've always wanted some kind of smart display from Apple, and I never thought that they would be building one straight from the iPhone. You can even interact with the music widget directly on screen to pause, play the next song, or even control what speakers it's playing to, all while keeping your phone charging on the stand. It's funny because actually about 12 months ago when the 14 Pro came out, a lot of people actually didn't really see the point or the value of the always-on display. People actually were so upset and they vocalized their upsetness online that Apple released an update to allow you to turn that off. But now that we're seeing standby mode, I think it's fair to say that we're finally seeing Apple's vision on what this display technology is supposed to be like. And personally, I'm all here for it. Okay, so let's talk about iMessage. It received a few updates, but the one that I'm finally happy to see is the swipe to reply feature. It was always a pain to hold down on a message and then hit the reply button to initiate a specific message reply. Now we get an extremely smooth swipe gesture to reply to specific messages of our choosing, which is actually quite similar to how that works on like Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp and pretty much a bunch of other messaging apps that are already doing this. And there's this new check-in feature as well, where you and another person can keep tabs if you're making progress to a destination, such as your home. Once you make it to the destination, the alerts are going to stop and you've made it. But if you stop making progress to where you said you were going, this feature will actually check in with you. But if no response is generated, it's going to provide helpful info to your friends and family who you're sharing your status with. And it's going to hand over your location data, battery level of your iPhone, and even your cell service status on the actual device itself if you actually end up in an area without service. All of this information is end-to-end encrypted as well, according to Apple. So for anybody that just wants that extra layer of safety, this is it, and it's really well done. I think this is going to be a hit for a lot of people, especially if you have children or if you are going out late at night or you just don't feel safe about, where you're headed to. Okay, moving on. I want all of you guys to look at this. These are what Apple calls contact posters, which you create and personalize yourself, and it will be used as the poster your friends and family see on their phones when you call them. It's exactly how we're able to actually customize our wallpapers just for the lock screen itself on iOS 16 and 17. You get all the same tools, including the cool depth effect if you have the right photo for it. And you can also save multiple contact posters and swipe between them depending on how you're feeling that day with how you want to present yourself when you call people. Okay, so one of the more underrated features this year is live voicemail. We're now able to view real-time transcriptions of the message someone is trying to leave us as they speak, giving us more immediate context for the call. So we got a few options. I can actually choose to answer the call right away as they're leaving that message and actually continue that conversation without letting the call end. But what's even better is you can actually instantly send unknown callers to voicemail without actually having them ring you first, which I think greatly helps with all the spam calls that are going on right now. I don't know if you guys are dealing with this, but I get like 5 to 10 spam calls a day. Like, look at all my live voicemails that I'm getting from unknown callers who are able to sort of bypass spam protections. It's getting crazy these days, to be honest, but I'm happy to see this change and kind of help me out personally because I don't have to deal with all these incoming calls that have nothing to do with me or my life. Okay, let's talk about AirDrop. It's getting a couple of new updates, with the NameDrop being one of them, where you hold your iPhone to someone else's and you'll be able to exchange contact information very quickly along with your contact poster. What's even cooler is you can set what you want to share. So if your name and email is all you want to give to a stranger, that is something you can do. You don't have to give them your phone number. AirDropping files between iPhones is also going to become a lot easier now by simply holding your iPhone close to the other person, and the transfer will actually just initiate right away. And coming later this year, and this is the one I'm actually most excited about, AirDrop transfers will continue even if you walk out of range from that person. It's gonna finish off that transfer actually just using the internet, and there's gonna be no quality sacrifice in that process. And finally, we're seeing a welcome change to how we use widgets on our iPhone. We're now able to directly interact with them on the home screen without having to actually go inside of the app. For example, I can have a set of home control buttons on my home screen to control the lights without actually having to go inside of the home app, or my personal favorite, having Siri shortcuts to change my iPhone quickly from color to black and white. Take this as a free pro tip actually. If you ever need a focus and you just find your phone really distracting, turn it black and white. It actually makes it far less appealing and interesting to our brains. I legit cannot use my phone in black and white for that long. Like, to my brain, it just looks completely boring and bland, and it actually works. So I recommend you give it a try. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to check out the new Euphoria wallpaper pack that are released down below and use code buy one get one to get the Euphoria pack plus either the Symmetry wallpaper or the Winterland wallpaper pack free of charge. All the links will be down below. Comment hashtag I made it if you finish this video. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys all in the next video. Peace.